I love music, so that's something that you do with music. I used to dance a bit as well, but it's not as challenging as pole dancing or pole sport. It's actually a sport more than anything else. You know, it's not about how you look or anything like that. It's strength. It's very gymnastic. So when you do pole, you work your body in a different way. You do a lot of floor work with pole as well. It kind of helped me with just doing something different when I do my posing routine. Bodybuilding has always just been a part of my life. It's just what you do. It's just a lifestyle, it's just something you do, like brushing your teeth. Although I was always health conscious, it's very disciplined when you want to compete. And I just really never wanted to do that. But then when I moved to Cape Town, and obviously because Bloem's small, the shows and the bodybuilding there was also very small. So when you move to a bigger place with a larger group of people doing it, it just becomes more attractive almost. And then once I competed, and once you've changed your body completely to that degree of leanness and you see what you look like, it's a bug, you know, you're stuck with it. You want to do it all the time. Okay, well, now my very first show was in the 80s. It was a very long time ago. Those were the ones that we didn't really prepare for. But then I didn't compete for a very long time. And the first competitive show I did again was in 2010. It was Shameen Adams' Night of Champions. He did, I think, 2 or 3 of those. So that was my first show. I came third. Had a lot of fun. It was very nice.
Jacky Liebenberg hails from Bloemfontein in the Free State and has always had a passion for fitness.
Growing up in Bloemfontein, well, it's a small town, so it was nice. When I grew up, it was not that big. I've done a lot of things in my life. I had my own gym in Bloem as well. I was always busy with nutrition and fitness, and I combined all of these things, so I was never just one thing. I'm fortunate with having parents that were always aware of being healthy and training. So my mom used to do, in Afrikaans, gymnastrade. So my dad did weights. It was actually just men. No women really did that. I was walking in town the one day and I saw a magazine or a book about female bodybuilders, and I saw the cover and I went, wait, why do they look like that? Well, I saw that they basically do what my dad was doing. They do weights. And then I decided, okay, so I want to do that.
I know, but I mean, it doesn't work.
What about after the lead?
Yeah. If you're still young and in school, it's a little weird because then your mom is more ripped than, you and all your friends. So it's weird for them then to realize your mom's a bodybuilder. As you grow up and you realize it's just the same as any other hobby, it's fine. So my opinion is just she does what she loves, so it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Back then it was just awkward to deal with the situation. Are you going to call your mom to protect you? And I'm like, yeah, because she's bigger than you. So
they like look at your mom, then look at you, and they're like, what happened?
What do you mean what happened?
I don't know, bro. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. So there's more annoyance than anything from your friends if they find out that your mom's a bodybuilder. If you have friends that go to the gym regularly, they start asking, what does your mom bench?
Oh yeah.
And they like ask details because they want to feel better about themselves because like your mom's stronger than him.
I completely forget. Even the tellers at the supermarkets, and then they would like look at you, they would ring stuff up, but they wouldn't, focus. And then after a while, you think, why is this woman acting so strange? And then you realize, oh. And then some people want to touch you. They actually come and they say, can I squeeze it? And you go, yeah, sure. So, but I'm so used to it that I don't even notice it anymore. They're my best friends. I don't really treat them as children. So we're really very close. We share everything and we hang out together. I don't have children that go out and party.
Jacky's sons may not be into the club scene, but Jacky certainly knows her way around the decks.
You go out to clubs and stuff, and start being curious how they do the music, how does it work, how do they get the tracks to flow into each other. And then I just went and looked behind the DJ box what they were doing, and I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. Still played electro, but then when I got here, I heard psytrance. So then I started to play psytrance. So basically that's how I started.
I'm so into music. You can just play anything and I would love it.
It goes da 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 da, then he says yeah, and then it's
on the year then. 30. 49 or 39?
49.
It's not gonna work.
JD, my son, he also got into the whole music thing. I think he got exposed to it with me always practicing my sets. And then after school, he went into music production. So he went to SAE and he studied there. And that's what he does now. So he produces all kinds of things.
So just listen to the lead in. She is supportive, yeah. The influence was probably just she DJ'd a while back, and that obviously, like a kid wants to do what their parents does, even though I'd like to believe I'm my own person. So. Do you want it to end on a snap, or do you want it to lead down? Is a snap fine?
A snap's fine, yeah.
I'm used to that.
What made it easier for him to decide was he was exposed to seeing how you could make a living out of doing it.
I think it was more just you weren't one of those parents who said, no, you need to get a real job.
That's what I actually wanted to say.
Yeah. That's what you meant, yeah. It was just like, if you want to try it, it's cool. So then I tried it, and I guess that's why.
Before the break, we met Jacky Liebenberg, fitness fanatic, bodybuilder, psytrance DJ in Cape Town's club scene, and doting mother. Bodybuilding is said to date back to the ancient Greeks, who set up establishments known as gymnasiums, in which athletes would train and improve their bodies. Milo of Croton allegedly carried a calf on his back every day to build up his muscle and strength. As the calf grew, he grew, using the progressive resistance technique employed in bodybuilding today. Eugen Sandow is often noted as the father of modern bodybuilding. In the late 1880s, he acted out muscle display performances in England and invited audiences to appreciate his physique. In 1898, Katie Sanduina Strongwoman adopted a variation of Sandow's name and displayed his 6-foot, 95-kilogram frame whilst doing juggling tricks and performances at circuses and theatres. At the time, women with these physiques were labelled freaks by society. It was Abby Stockton who, in 1948, took the female bodybuilder out of the circus and into the gym. 23-year-old Achmat Richards has always been athletic and fitness-orientated, devoting every day to preparations for competitions and conditioning for the next show.
Bodybuilding actually comes way back for me. I remember the first time I ever lifted a single weight was a barbell, was in my uncle's backyard. I was probably like 5-6 years old. He used to do bodybuilding back in the day. It was like really like this old school type of bodybuilding gym. And that's where I found out about bodybuilding. I saw these massive guys, like, what did these guys do? I thought they were wrestlers at the first time I ever set eyes on them. And then it's, you know, these guys are bodybuilders, they stand on the stage and so on. First I found it a bit weird, like these guys are standing in small underwear and showing their muscles, and I was like, I'll never do that. I was like, don't think I'll ever do that. It was roughly about 3 years ago. One of my friends said to me, listen, you really have a good physique, why don't you step on stage? I said, no ways, man. There's no ways I'm putting that thing on and going on stage. Then, like it was about 2.5 years ago, one of my friends was preparing for a bodybuilding competition, and I said, well, I'm gonna go sit and watch. It wasn't a really big show, it was down in Kimberley. And I stood there in the first row, and I was like, these guys are standing on stage. I could probably put a 10 on and could probably stand against them as well. Just have fun and probably do just as well as them. And that's what encouraged me. Okay, I grew up in Kimberley. My childhood was really good. Come from a good background. I was very athletic at school, played a lot of sports and so on.
Yes, from small he's been doing cricket, which he done very, very well in, and then coming up further into fitness, landed up in bodybuilding, which I was really also surprised, because one minute Ahmed looked small and thin. Next minute it was just this big, broad Ahmed.
Mom's the biggest supporter. My mom is everything to me. Like we fight like friends. We love each other. But most importantly, she's my mom, and I think she's the only person that really understands me in all aspects. I remember the first time I was ever in a gym. I was laying float up. That time I could float. I don't think I can float anymore. Probably was like 6-7 years old. And I just said, well, one day I hope to have a gym like this. I was in the Free State, studied business management. Also didn't go as planned. Then started studying personal training and so on. Then once the year of when I was going to graduate or get my diploma in personal training, I decided, well, once I get this qualification, I'm moving to Cape Town. What's up, moms?
All right, and you okay? How was your day? Well, I come from Kimberley. I come quite often. There are times when I come for a month to helping prep, and when I come, he'll now tell me, look, I got a competition on. I need you there at a certain time. When he gets back from gym, certain of his meals must be done already, so that he, like you see, he came in, he want to sit down and he want to, like he'll now put his time in.
When mom's not here, then I prepare my own food, but then I prepare my food the night before. So obviously it's not as nice as mom's fresh food. So that's why it helps a lot coming from training and food's done already.
It is my duty, and I mean, I've been 30 years in the game of standing and cooking in the kitchen. 5 kids. I'm used to it already. Well, this is one of his meals. Is the tuna, his rice, and his cucumber. Well, this is, I don't have to measure this one because this is a tin of tuna which comes out of the tin.
She was 5 grams short of my rice days.
You see your scale, Ahmed, is very slow. Your rice is one.
That's not my scale. My scale is a small scale. You must want to use your scale. My scale works. Spicy nacho. Free from gluten. No added sugar. Low sodium. It's got paprika. It's got cayenne pepper. It's got a little bit of garlic. The spice definitely saves me a lot in taste. On Monday.
On Monday. Oh yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Let me show you this. Let me show you this routine again.
Yeah, please let me see. I support him all the way. You know, all the way. Like I see him go through it daily. I see what he has to go through, how he becomes as a person, like with everything that happens, like throughout comp prep, even behind the scenes, on the day of the show. Sometimes I'll just find him randomly doing poses and there's no mirror, and then I look if there's a mirror, and then I just laugh to myself. But no, he definitely, this is his passion. And it's not just his passion, it's what he's living for.
I don't think it takes a special type of person to be a bodybuilder, but it does, like any other sport, takes a lot of passion. Like, it's only my second year in bodybuilding, so like it's definitely growing on me. So it's definitely becoming, I could say, it's becoming my lifestyle.
She also is around
The last meal of the day is at roughly about 8:30. Yeah, but I probably get to bed around about 9:10 anyway. Important. Everything in bodybuilding is actually done with a purpose. Every meal, every training session, every bit of sleep actually as well. On the nutrition side, there are guys also that push it, like the nutrition to the extreme, which makes it unhealthy. I don't think it's very smart. Like, obviously, like with science growing every day, com coaches are getting more educated, so they are finding ways to make it healthier to compete. It's like you could say bodybuilding is an extreme sport. There are going to be pros and cons to it.
Ahmed, how's it going, man? You well?
Right, you
Good, man.
Solid.
How's things going?
It's going good, man. You know,
What can I do you for today, my friend? Huh?
okay, today a little bit short on some CLA, some aminos, and some protein. But I think we go for some isolate.
You just came in for your recovery, speed up all those processes. You can decide, you know what you want, you know what to get. So grab it, man.
A lot of vitamins in the that's
Tropical, there's grape as well, so you can decide. You know, we always have an argument when it comes to flavor. So yeah, you decide, bro. All you guys are getting ready for comp now. So it's phone calls all day, it's study this, study that. Yeah, you know how it goes. Good to see you. All the best for the show, man. I'll see you before then.
and come back to my first flight.
Cheers, man. Have a good day. Bye.
Before the break, we met bodybuilder Achmat Richards, who is preparing for a bodybuilding competition. We learned about his daily training, nutrition, and the people who support his dream.
So I'm gonna prep my chicken for about 3 days now. So when you prep, you want to eat a protein that is digested really quickly, like chicken or fish. It's the best. I don't like fish. I don't. It's just not filling enough. So chicken is what we all basically eat. It's all about making your volume of your food as much as you can without the calories. So 100 grams of steak would have more calories than 100 grams of chicken. So you can eat more chicken than if you look at it that way. So I know already my portions, I'm supposed to eat 120 grams of raw weighed chicken, per meal. So when you cook protein, it obviously decreases in weight because of the water that goes out. So then 120 grams of chicken would become 100 grams. Oh, and I use this because I don't have a mallet. So, okay, this is my beautiful makeshift stove. I spray and I do the olive oil just so that it doesn't stick. I don't know why people think that salt causes them to be overweight or more cause weight gain. I don't know. You have to eat salt. Salt's a transporter in your body. It transports all the nutrients into your muscle. So if you also plays a role in your blood pressure. So you should just have everything and be balanced. I love my chicken. I wish I could have more. No, it's like, I don't know why people get tired of eating one thing. I think it's the way you make it. It's really tasty. My food's really tasty. If I had to choose, I would eat that. So that's what makes it easy. You've made the chicken in the pan now, so you've got all that stuff in there, the spices, and the little bit of oil that you're supposed to have. So you deglaze your pan. And that's your sauce. Put chicken foot in there. We eat less carbs than we normally do, but we never not eat carbs. Carbs are a very important part of getting lean, actually, surprisingly. And then the weekend before the show, I do a preload. So then I just up my carb intake, and then I taper it down towards the show. So it's just, we call it a preload. So that's basically what we do. There's nothing else that I do that's strange. I don't manipulate sodium or water or anything like that. Health is very important to me. Apart from everything else, you have to be healthy. Everybody knows the goals that I prep, and people that know me, when I prep myself, I will never ever do anything that would sacrifice somebody's health. So I've got a whole range of things that I take every morning. So one thing that we all do need is glutamine. So I'm just using this at the moment. You take it before and after you've trained. It helps with the recovery of your muscle. It's an amino acid. And then creatine sometimes, although we don't really take creatine now, I take vitamin C every day. Oh, and then omega. This is omega-3. Your body, that's the omega that your body cannot manufacture from your food that you eat. I don't think it's ever healthy to have a body fat percentage that's really, really so low. That's why it's also not sustainable. So you look like that for only a few weeks, that you're very, very lean, and super lean, as in stage lean, only a couple of days. And then immediately after that, you kind of normalize, you smooth out a little bit, because you cannot keep that condition. It's not a healthy thing to do.
Wat ek gewoonlik by my meal one doen is, instead of my vet van my whole egg, sal ek die 10 gram peanut butter vat.
Okay.
En dan sal ek die ander 20 gram peanut butter 10 on each rice cake.
Sonder die ons haal met ander woorde van jou vette uit.
Yes.
Okay. Saam met jou oats.
Okay.
En dan daai kan jy vir my ook dan nou 15 neem.
After having my son, I decided this is a lifelong dream that I've always wanted to do. So after my first show, I actually chatted to one of the girls who was working with Jacky at the time, and she gave me her details, and started working with Jacky about 3 months ago.
Basically, if somebody had to come to me and tell me that they want to start competing, you do a body assessment and you determine how much body fat the person has, and if they've trained before, how much muscle they've got, and also which category they would like to go in. If they want to be more muscular, they want to do physique, or if it's a man, if he wants to do bodybuilding, obviously he has to train much longer than somebody like a woman that wants to do bikini. Right. bietjie minder, so dis weight is mos nou nie belangrik eintlik nie. So.
Ja.
Okay. It's a process, it's a road that you have to actually walk with these people because it takes a lot of discipline and you have to work very hard, and not a lot of people have that kind of discipline to do it. But when you do it, it's a lot of fun. You can train as hard as you want and you can do everything that you possibly can do in gym, but if your nutrition is not supporting that, if you're not eating what you should be eating, the results won't be what you think you would get. The business that I've got now, and which is basically what I do 24/7, it's fitness and nutrition consulting. I help people to achieve their fitness goals and their physique goals, whether you want to compete, whether you just want to get into shape. The main thing that I enjoy doing is helping people to feel better about themselves.
Abby and Melissa, and the crowd goes wild.
Today we're here to do a bit of posing practice with my girls. I start that about 6 weeks before the shows every Saturday, and just to get them used to walking around in heels and to put them through their paces. And it's very important because posing can actually make you win or lose. And Natalie, relax your boel. Staan net so met jou bene. Okay. So yeah, sometimes they do that even with prejudging. Okay, that's important, right? Okay, then. Okay, you guys, relax. Okay, bikini in your position. There we go. In bodybuilding, there's a term called the X frame, and that's what you want. You want to look like an X. Your shoulders as wide as you can, pulling your stomach. So they need to learn how to do that. Because I do physique, I have to flex and show my muscle, where when you do bikini, you don't. You just show your silhouette, your shape.
Former All-African Mr. Olympia, Shameen Adams, is one of South Africa's best bodybuilders and the host of the IFBB Shameen Classic.
Well, you know, with the level of competition nowadays in any sport, whether it's cricket, golf, athletics, bodybuilding, cycling, you will always find like the bad substances creeping in, and athletes will always be basically tempted to use the banned substances. I mean, athletes nowadays are faster athletics, you get at athletics, and you know, it's not always a good thing to do what they are doing, because you're looking, at the end of the day, you're looking at longevity, and those guys normally they don't last long, you know, whereas the older guys, there weren't all these substances like on the market and stuff, so they just used the old hardcore method where just grinding out every day in the gym, eating normal natural foods, and you'll find lots of those guys still around. But nowadays, athletes come and go. You don't hear or see of them like in a short period. The up-and-coming athletes, we have a great future basically in bodybuilding and fitness. And like I said, because we've been competing on the international stage for a couple of years now, we sort of caught up with the other guys. It's like in rugby, when America and those teams, when they played, and they started out in the sevens, they were nowhere, but they're up there, they're contending now. Same with bodybuilding, so we're basically competing with the top, the best in the world now at the moment.
This bikini was my very first one. I actually made most of it myself. Our bikinis differ, the way it ties. So the bikini girls would just have a single strap there with the bottom. We need to have a crisscross, which means it has to go like that on your back, you see. So you don't have anything on to break the line of your back. So the idea is actually to have a bikini that doesn't even attract attention. Your body must attract attention, not the bikini. The thing is that it's very expensive. Mine still not that much, and it's over 2,000 Rand for a bikini. So, and then you get girls that pay much more than that. I prefer to use a bikini for a whole season. So I would have one made. If I'm going to do 3 shows, I'll use it for all 3 shows. Or if you do one show this year and the next year you're going to do another show, I'll just reuse it. Tanning we do to enhance the appearance of our muscle. It's not your normal average tan that you go for in a salon tan. It's an excessively dark tan. So we have the first coat the day before, and then touch-ups at the the day of the show. The morning of the show, it's get up early, start doing, the first thing you have to eat, because the time that you need to go on stage, you have to have eaten a couple of times. Basically then it's washing hair, fixing everything, packing your bags, getting your food ready for the day, and then doing the makeup, and then to get to the show for the prejudging as soon as you can. I'm always nervous. If you're not nervous, you're not normal. So you're always nervous about going and doing. And I need to do a routine, so that's also something that makes me a little bit nervous. But it helps you to focus. So it's all part of it. If you didn't get nervous, I don't think you would want to do it anymore. Then it wouldn't be fun.
Before the break, we learnt more about Jacky's competition preparation. We also learned about bodybuilding in South Africa and the natural approach to obtaining the best results. Training for competitions is not only about eating right, but about putting in the time. Jacky trains twice a day, and this kind of exercise needs to be accompanied by healthy practices to ensure her body doesn't take a hit. Jacky visits a sport massage therapist and biokineticist regularly when leading up to a competition to ensure that her muscles do not take too much strain.
Goedjies hier en daar. So gaan ons weer 'n fascia release doen soos die vorige keer.
Ja, ek gaan weer 'n bietjie kyk na die bindweefsel, want jy weet soos die spiere meer werk en fatigue meer en ons meer lactic acid. Weet dan is daar daai plekke wat so 'n bietjie minder werk en waar die bindweefsel die spiere probeer help. Ouers en alles wat ons maar die vorige keer gekyk het. Okay, so ontspan jy net lekker. Meer training met mense is daai kans bietjie stywer, né? Hier so net.
Au.
Ahmed is preparing for the IFBB provincials in a few days' time. Months of training will be put to the test at this competition.
I stuck to my plan. I'm happy with my conditioning. It's now all about just nailing up the poses down on stage.
The morning of the show, I'm always nervous. If you're not nervous, you're not normal. So, I need to do a routine, so that's also something that makes me a little bit nervous.
Jacky's athletes are getting ready to go on stage and the nerves are kicking in.
Well, this is not the pre-judging. My athletes are on stage. Well, 3 of them have been already. The body fitness school must not go. Yeah, they need a bit of support because it's quite, once somebody's done it for a while, it's, they get used to it. But some of them, like Natalie, hasn't been with me, so I just want to go make sure that they're okay. And Melissa, she hasn't been on stage for a while. So you just go and check and just calm them and know that when they see me as well, when I'm standing down there, then I can show them whether they fine or not, and then they get confident. So the thing that gets me about my division is that it's always so late. So you have to stand here and wait, and you know, then your nerves start working. But I'm fine. I've done this so many times. Doing a show like this, it's kind of like an artist where you would paint a painting and then it goes to a gallery and they have a display. So basically our bodies are the work of art, and you work very hard all year to build it up, dial it down, and this is where you show it and display it. And it's very important for people to like what you bring to the stage, because, and especially if you make a living like I do out of the industry, so that they can see what you are capable of.
Next on stage we have the women's physique.
It's only me and one other lady. My division is never big, or my lineup. It's not very popular because we've got a lot of muscle and we look different, so not a lot of women want to compete in that division.
We'll turn to your right.
If she appeared harder than me, she might come first. If we were the same condition, if she wasn't harder than me, then I'll win. Because of my symmetry and proportions and my shape, I know I'm blessed with that. I've got good genetics with shape and that.
Thank you. Turn around facing the back.
This morning was the pre-judging, so we need to come back to basically announcing the winners tonight, and I get to do my routine because we don't do that in the morning. It's got everything to do with how you present yourself on stage that makes you look different. So it's just an illusion that's created by being on stage with the tan, with the lights, that makes you look exceptionally huge and developed and big. Well, when in actual fact, when you're standing right next to the person, they're not necessarily that big.
Contestant number 9, Jacky Liebenberg. This division, it's number 35, Kate Brandt. She makes you winner there, Jacky Liebenberg, number 9.
It went very well. I got first place. I'm very happy with that. The biggest challenge was just to get the routine smoothly, because you can practice something so many times, but as soon as you're out there, for some reason the music sounds different and you do things differently, but it all went well. Timing was a little bit out in the beginning, but I fixed it as I went along, and yeah, I'm very happy. It was fun. It was really the most fun I've ever had at a show. Very nice.
Before the break, we saw Jacky come out on top at the IFBB Provincials and take the women's physique first prize. It's competition time for Achmat Richards. He is about to find out if months of training and dieting have paid off.
Okay, today we're at CPUT Bell IFBB Western Province Championships, the first platform before stepping up onto the national platform. I think that we sweet almond oil, so we can have a nice shine, bring out the striations of the muscles, make everything pop out nicely. The preparation for tanning is always the tanning instructions, the pre-tanning instructions before tanning. Basically just exfoliating the skin, looking out, moisturizing, making sure that all the dead skin cells are off your body. So that the tan can respond nicely to your skin. So, this is always an exciting environment to be in. The smells, the food, the vibe amongst the guys. It's awesome. It's a very brotherly environment as well. We make a lot of friends and further connections from there onwards. So feeling really good at the moment, yeah.
Squeeze those down. There we go.
Pre-judging is mainly for the judges, so they basically put the scores together instead of doing all the scoring during the main evening, where the main show is mainly for entertainment, for the crowd purposes, music, individual routines. So it's all about the crowd and the athletes for the main show.
In second place, it's number 70, Riaz Russell.
It's a long wait after this morning's pre-judging, but the main show has finally arrived and Ahmed waits his turn.
Now it's just basically relaxing out, waiting. Obviously going to go on stage, nail down the rest of the poses. Excited to have some fun with individual routines. My routine basically is entertainment for the crowd. Like we have our compulsory poses and so on. Routine is basically like combining those compulsory poses into like a flow, like almost like into a dance routine. Just making it look nice and fun, and obviously entertaining for the crowd and people watching.
This is number 80. His name is Achmat Richards. Also be thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying.
Like I just go with whatever my body feels comfortable with. For me, routine is all about, like I'll pick a song and I'll try and feel the song as much as I can. And like I say, just let my body flow naturally and not really worry about missing steps. Because I have been in stages where I've practiced the routine and then I miss a step and it just throws me off completely. So I just go, I basically just freestyle my routines, but I do have more or less an idea of what I'm gonna do. I know what my body feels comfortable with, so we'll just go with the flow and basically just freestyle it and have fun.
Thank you, Ahmed Richards.
After the routine, the judges deliberate and make their final decision, whilst family, friends and Ahmed wait for the results. Ahmed places second in his division.
A little bit disappointed. I had myself up there, walked into it a bit confidently, but at the end of the day, things happen for a reason. I think I'm packing good size for my weight, so probably just coming a little bit leaner just showing a little bit more muscle striations and so on. They maybe looking to tick those boxes I didn't tick. We'll definitely speak to someone who has an idea of which boxes I didn't tick, and then work on those ones from there. I would say bodybuilding was something that I'm meant to do. Like I said, I had a lot of speculation starting out with it. I said I would never step on stage. Look at me today. I can't wait to step on stage again. So it's definitely something that was meant for me to happen. Like I've always wanted to travel the world. This year, but I was very fortunate to travel to Birmingham, England, to represent the PCA South Africa in the Body Power Expo. So that's, like I said, it's something that was meant to happen. How it's shaping my future at the moment now, it's giving me direction.
Once you've trained and you get to know how it feels, and you don't have that anymore, you miss it. You just have to feel that way. So that's the thing that keeps me going. It's just purely, it helps you to be stronger. You're a healthier person. When you don't do anything physical, your body just becomes, old, and you need to rejuvenate yourself.
Whilst bodybuilding is not for everyone, it is a lifestyle for many South Africans. Like a painter who works for months and even years to create the perfect artwork, bodybuilders train to create the perfect physique.